Hi there. I'm just going to start out and say this has been really heavy on my heart since I saw the saying, this meme, whatever, last Thanksgiving. So it's been, 9 months? And it's just been on my mind constantly. And I forgot about the thing that, it'll be backwards. So yay for me showing you this, but it's all backwards. So hopefully you can read it. But it says, when you learn how to sit at the table with your Judas, you will understand the love of Christ. And I just keep thinking about that. When I sit at the table with my Judas, or more than one, who's betrayed me, who's hurt me, to sit across the table from that person or persons who have cut you the deepest. So when you sit at the table with your Judas, that's some heavy stuff right there, right? So when I sit at the table with my Judas, like I said, I read this, as you see it backwards, I read this probably 9 months ago. It was at Thanksgiving, which you'd think that, Judas would be on my mind around, Easter. But no, it was started in Thanksgiving. And I just constantly, it just keeps creeping back up in my mind. And then not long ago, I watched a speaker. I can't think of her name right now, but she does these front porch. She says to meet her on the front porch, or front porch talks. She's a Southern lady, and she's awesome. But she had a live video, and she said that she had felt led, or that God had really put on her heart that she had some people that had really hurt her, and he told her to go sit by a chair and say their name of each person out loud, and each person that had hurt her. So say the name of the person who has hurt you, and then pray for that person. Say their name, and then pray for that person who had hurt you, cut you deep, done you wrong. And of course, my brain just kept putting, both things together. This, meme, or the saying that I had seen, when you can sit down at the table with your Judas. And then this lady talking about sitting down at a chair and saying the name of someone who had done her wrong, who had hurt her deeply, and saying their name out loud, and then praying for them. So as I go back and I think about the story of Judas, well, yes, the story of Judas. So it's in the, we know that Jesus sat down at a table, with his besties, with his dudes, with, hey, bro, those guys, his family here on earth, the ones he trusted the most, the guys that he had traveled with, the ones he had, been angry with and shared with and walked thousands of miles with, and those guys, the guys that had been through everything with him, the ones that he trusted the very, very most. And he sat down at the table to have dinner with them. And then Jesus went through, as we know, and he sat down at Judas' feet. And he took and he washed Judas' feet. He sat here, cleaned his feet. And they walked through in sandals and sand and the dirt and the dust. And then Christ sat down and washed his feet. And then when he finished, he took his cloth and he dried those feet of Judas. Who's your Judas? Christ sat there and dried Judas' feet. And then after he finished all that, They sat at the table, and Christ sat there, and he took food, and he fed his Judas, knowing that Judas would betray him, knowing that Judas was going to have him killed, knowing. You know, usually we don't know when someone's going to betray us. Our Judas, we don't know ahead of time. Jesus even knew. He washed Judas' feet. He dried Judas' feet. He fed Judas. And then he let Judas go. He knew Judas had something to do. And he let Judas go. When I think about sitting at the feet, sorry, I'm still here, sitting at the feet of my Judas, or Judas's, people who have hurt me, for me to sit and wash the feet of the person who beat, raped, and abused me, or the person when I was a child who molested me for years. Or perhaps for you, maybe you had a dad or a mom who abandoned you, someone who lied and misled you, someone who took your money and ran, someone who slandered you and made you look terrible in front of your community or your family or the people that you were close to. Maybe for you, someone that took your money, someone that cheated. Who is your Judas? And to sit down and say their name, wash their feet, speak their name, and let them go. Wash their feet, say their name, pray for them, even if it's God. Here's this person and all I can do is hand them to you, because you know my heart can't handle it right now. But I'm washing their feet. I'm going to say their name, and I'm going to let them go. For my sake. For my sake. For my health. For my happiness. For my future with a hope. For the full life that I know Christ wants me to live. I need to make that space, make room for all the blessings that Christ wants to give me, to let me live through. For my sake, I need to do this. I need to sit like Christ did at the chair of my Judas. And I don't know your story. I'm throwing some of mine out there because it's relevant to what I'm doing. But to sit with whoever your monsters are, whatever's happened to you, and to realize that you are not what happened to you. That's not who you are. And even to sit with yourself, because this is huge. At least for me, this is huge. This whole thing has just been huge for me. And to sit with myself and to wash my own feet and to say, Amy, I love you. You are important. You are not the things that have happened to you. You are a daughter of the King. You are one of a kind. And I forgive you, Amy. because these things happened to you. I forgive the way you felt. I forgive the things that you believed about yourself that were not true. So sit down and even, put yourself in the chair, because perhaps you are one of your own Judases. And wash those feet clean. Wash the dirt away. Wash the dirt clean. Dry it off. New and clean and dry and shiny. Say the name of the Judas and let it go. And let it go. Make space. Make space for the blessings that the universe has for you. Open up. Allow goodness to come into you, and allow goodness and light and happiness and joy to flow from you. And forgive yourself. Forgive your Judas. You're beautiful. And you deserve all the love that you would give to someone else, that you valued. So I challenge you to sit down at the table with your Judas. Say their name. Pray for them and let them go. And I wish you just joy and peace and self-love and forgiveness. This was a tough one for me, and I've worked on it for months and months. And I hope and I pray that we can all try to love a little bit like Christ loves, and just forgive ourselves, forgive our Judas, let it go, and just live in joy and love and peace. Things that we need a lot of in this world today. You guys have a great night. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm glad I said that all, because it's been a long journey for me to get that done. Bye.